Are you happy that you voted for Trump?
It's time for this administration to recognize who put them into office.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices.
What up, guys? My name is Happiness. Welcome to my channel. We're gonna look through people who are regretting voting for Trump and those who did not vote for Trump but who warned those who voted for Trump of the outcome of their decision. So let's look for these videos.
Are you happy that you voted for Trump? Now that you see everything that he has been doing, do you feel bad that you voted for him? A lot of people warned me about voting for Trump, but I did not listen. I even lost some of my friends and family over the election. I am so glad that I did not listen. I have no regrets. This is what I voted for. You remember, you guys you liberals like to ask, this is what you voted for. Exactly. This is what I voted for. And what is there not to like about everything Trump has been doing? The fact that he's handling the immigration crisis we had in this country, DEI, or uncovering the corruption that has been going on in our country. I feel very proud of myself and for everyone that voted for Trump. It took a non-politician like Trump to show us how foolish we all have been to blindly trust our government. I used to hear charity begins at home. Some of you might know that saying. But obviously, for the corrupt government that we have been dealing with, charity begins overseas. That is why we have a lot of Americans struggling. Meanwhile, we're sending all this money, taxpayer money, overseas. So yes, no regrets at all. I am very glad I voted for Trump. I'm sure you guys are all, I don't want to speak for anybody. Are you glad you voted for Trump? Because I am.
I'll just say this. I think it's time for this administration to recognize who put them into office and also to understand that these people are hurting. And this only adds to the hurt that they're already dealing with.
I mean, you said they need to recognize that people are hurting. That's literally the point. And that's what every single 100% of Trump voters voted for, cruelty to be inflicted on certain populations. They just thought that they were inflicting cruelty on they, them, since that was the animating thing, they, them, and not their damn selves. So it's very strange to try to appeal to the better angels of Donald Trump and the Republican Party. They don't have empathy. They don't have compassion. They don't give a damn who suffers as long as they get their tax cuts. That's it. The 77 million people voted for tax cuts for the wealthy at the expense of every other American priority. You're asking him to actually go against what you voted for. You're asking him to implement the policy of Kamala Harris. They wanted her policies that benefit them. And then they wanted Donald Trump's policies that fuck over everybody else. That's the problem with all these people. They thought they were digging somebody else's grave, and they got to get a casket for their damn self. They farms, they life savings, people, the carnage that's going to be inflicted on people, which, by the way, nobody had to suffer. There was an option that wasn't about suffering for anybody. It was about everybody coming up, everybody getting ahead. Now, not everybody's going to get ahead equally, but everybody would have been better off. They had that choice, but they did not want that. They very, very, very clearly wanted people to suffer. So stand in it, and stand in the grave that you've dug for yourself.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen. So what do I do now? What do the people do now? The ones that regret their vote. What do we do? I can't go out and get a regular job. And it's not even about these families being separated from their loved ones. It's not about these 5 and 6 year olds getting their families taken away from them in the middle of a school day. It's not about any of that. It's about me and my food stamps and my cash assistance. Me. That I'm the only one that matters in this country. I am taking my life back.
We voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down. But it's obvious to me now that that was not true. Egg prices have skyrocketed. The bird flu is killing all the birds, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about that. He's stopping disease communications from the disease centers in America, pulled us out of the WHO. Like, how does that help anything? And yeah, all he's been doing is taking away rights and freedoms, or trying to. He's not doing anything about the economy. So yeah, we totally regret our vote at this point. We've had a really tough time here in North Carolina. Half of my house got washed away in Hurricane Helene, and I applied for FEMA assistance and we got approved. But now Trump is canceling FEMA and emergency assistance to people. He's also canceled
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. All the way to the White House.
A few moments later.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch.
It's been, what? It's been like 2 weeks? I mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote? In 2 weeks, I went from the highest high to being unemployed. Lost my job last night, got a phone call. The repercussions of what Elon Musk are doing with the USAID has real repercussions for real people. For the last 7 years, I have been a shift lead on Project Bus, where we studied to find out if the wheels on the bus went round around or not. And all of a sudden, Elon, who's not even elected, gets in, and I'm out of a job. What do I tell my family? What do I tell my kids? This isn't a joke. This USAID stuff is not a joke, man. It's affecting real people. And the worst part is, what if we never figure out if in fact the wheels on the bus do go round and round? Does nobody care?
I voted for President Trump.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want.
It's devastating.
County wants to cut our school funding. I don't think that anyone voted for that.
Do you mind if I ask who you voted for in the election?
I voted for Donald Trump.
80% of this county did vote for Donald Trump in November, but that doesn't mean that they believe that anything will be cut here.
I have to take responsibility for my personal vote that enabled that. I have to say I wasn't paying attention. I should have been and I wasn't. There's a lot of reasons for that, but and I regret that, obviously now. Trying to take responsibility for that and own it publicly.
The day after Trump won, I knew I had made a huge mistake. A lot of guilt and genuine shame. Probably going to get some understandable hate for this.
And there's been a lot of back and forth conversation, not just for me, but for a lot of people, about what do we do with folks who have buyer's remorse and are now turning around and going, I had no idea this would be a thing. I regret my vote. Do we simply accept them? Do we chastise them? Do we hold their feet to the fire on things that they vehemently denied for years, only to then immediately be proven wrong? Do we shun them the way they've shunned so many people? That's a hard question to answer, and I think the reason it's so hard is because it's different for everybody. Maybe some of you who will see this have absolutely no one close to you who voted for Trump. Some will have almost everyone you know voted for Trump. And some of those people will never change their minds. They will never, ever come to a place where they realize that they have been taken, that they are vulnerable, and that they got the whole country into this situation with their vote. Trump gives these people permission to openly hate whomever they hate for whatever reasons they've chosen, and to be protected by some non-existent law in this country that says that you have the right to demean and belittle others, to be an outright asshole, and to just do whatever you please because that's freedom. And it isn't. Unfortunately, the echo chamber that they were living in was the thing that hid that from them the whole time. Because even though they heard those things were dismissed by talking heads. They were made to sound less venomous than they are. And they were put in a light that really was dim at best, so they couldn't see it. It was purposefully being hidden from them. And of course, anyone who tried to show them was a woke libtard who didn't deserve their time or their focus. The ones who are going, wait a minute, I didn't ask for this, this wasn't what I wanted, I regret this now, and I'm sorry, what can I do to make it better?
Thank you for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe, and peace out.